This is the clinical intelligence platform for phData. Each of these is an accelerator that we created because we were directly responding to our life science clients that wanted to speed up the clinical trial process. And they've told us that just reducing it by a week can be millions of dollars. So we really are prioritizing making that process faster. So, first one, ECRF generator. This is a provenance tool and a way to get your PDF all the way into an EDC. So we're scanning it, we're using Claude and a variety of other tools to extract exactly where the screening visits happen, the order of events and inclusion exclusion criteria. And we're directly marking up on the PDF where that happens. So in the future, if you have to make an amendment, you can see exactly which elements in the EDC are going to be affected. We also have a competitive landscape tool we're working on that lets you see where your competitors are in their pipelines. We have a CDISC validator, so your statisticians can quickly see if their work is actually in the right format, not only catching it at QC, but catching it along the way. This eligibility risk shield is all about flagging enrollment risks. So if over here, for example, if you set your BMI to only be people under 35, but it's an osteoarthritis of the knee study, it's kind of risky because its label here is high risk because OA populations tend to have elevated rates of obesity. So if you're going to produce a drug trial on that osteoarthritic population, you're going to want your trial to represent the actual real world candidates. So you're not having a commercial issue trying to convince people that your trial was reflective of the real population. We also have a therapeutic area radar, and each of these is an RSS feed from FDA, EMA, kind of bringing it all together across all the areas or TAs that they're interested in. So you can quickly identify what's going on in that space in general when you're starting to write a trial. And that way you're not missing out on the newest stuff. We have a trial comparator. This is really helpful when you're looking at 3 different PDFs or 3 different trial protocols and you want to know, wait, what was the age range for those different groups? This tool helps extract just those information so you can quickly do it for 2 or 5 trials. We also have an outcome measure intel accelerator. And the idea here is for a given outcome indicator, if you're interested in UPDRS or the RECIST criteria, you can see exactly which studies it was used in. And if you want to jump into it, you can go directly to the NCTID and learn about how these different methods are being used. And finally, we have a trial power dashboard. Of course, the power calculator is nothing new. We're bringing in the effect size and alpha to calculate your total N you should do. But this is really a minimum value. And if you want to compete against your competing therapeutic areas or competing therapeutics, you're going to want to look at what your competitors are doing. So this is also looking at creates a corpus or a cohort of other studies in your space so that when eventually your sales reps or your MSLs are having a conversation, they can hopefully say we have as much or more evidence than your competitors. So if you're working on any problem related to developing clinical protocols, getting them into EDCs, and running trials more effectively, this is an area that we have a lot of expertise in, and we are directly building accelerators so we can speed up our clients. And if you want to work with us on one of these problems, you should reach out.